my name is Henrik. I am the design manager of LEGO Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings is actually my favorite stories of all. Therefore, I'm happy to show you one of the models, Gandalf arrives. Gandalf arrives in the first movie. He's going to Bilbo's 111th birthday, and he's coming in his small wagon through Shire. In the forest before Shire, he actually meets Frodo, reading a book. So in the model we have Frodo with his book, reading there. Of course, Gandalf with his stick. And in the back of the wagon we have a lot of firecrackers, because Gandalf is bringing firecrackers for Bilbo's birthday. In here we also have the dragon firecrackers that Merry Pippin is stealing in the movie and lights up, so the dragon of fire is coming there. One special new thing for this one is our new Lego horse that we of course have made so it can prance, and you can have it like that. So the Gandalf arrives set, Gandalf, Frodo and a new horse.
Hi everyone, my name's Nicholas Groves and I'm a designer builder for LEGO The Lord of the Rings. Now one of the sets I got to work on was Shelob Attacks, and this is a scene we see in the third movie, The Lord of the Rings Return of the King. Now in this scene we have Gollum, and he's down here and he has a fish which is his favourite snack, and he's hiding in the cave. We have Samwise, who is exclusive to this set, who is Frodo's best friend and companion on the way to Mordor, and of course we have Frodo with the ring. Now the scene we tried to recreate here is that Gollum has tricked Frodo into taking a shortcut through Shelob's cave, and Frodo doesn't know that Shelob is in fact a giant poisonous spider. Gollum hopes that Shelob will eat Frodo and then he can get the ring back which he so desperately craves. But Samwise, Frodo's best friend, finds out about this trick and this lie and runs in to save his friend. Now from a model builder designer point of view, building Shelob is quite a challenge. It's much easier for us to build cars or buildings because there's lots of nice right angles and sharp edges. But when we have to build organic forms like animals, it can be rather tricky for us. But here we've managed to recreate a very classic spider form and be true to Shelob from the movie. We've used lots of arched and bowed and sloped elements just to help give her that rounded feel in her thorax and her abdomen. So she feels really chunky and beefy and big. Of course, being a spider, she has 8 legs. On each of those legs there's 1, 2, 3 click hinges and a hinge plate which connects into the body. So we get a lot of articulation in there and we can put her into some really cool poses. Having 8 legs means she can actually stand and hold her own weight, as we can see, even though her body is quite big. But we found that kids, when playing with it, tend to do this. And we found that that can be quite annoying because it drags on a table or on a carpet. So we did a little bit of a trick or a cheat, and we put a little set of wheels underneath. And what this does, it just makes it a bit easier if you're playing on a table or playing on a carpet. It just makes it a bit smoother and helps with the whole play scenario. So that's something we often have to think about with LEGO models. Of course, being a spider, on the back Shelob has a stinger, and we've done it in a nice vivid red so you can tell that it's poisonous. And like all spiders, she makes some sticky web. So what she can do, she can sting Frodo, who actually has a second face. So we can see that he's been paralyzed by her poison. We can then wrap him up in the web. And then we can reel him in so Shelob has a nice tasty snack. Now of course, Frodo's friend Samwise isn't going to let this happen. He comes running in, he is armed with Sting, which is the magical sword that glows blue when orcs are around, and he stabs her in one of her eyes. And if you watch the scene closely, and something we've recreated, is that she is already blind in one eye, so she knows how painful it can be to be stabbed in the eye. So once Samwise does that, she does flee the scene. Watching from the cave, we have Gollum, who's now very angry about the fact that Samwise has got rid of Shelob, and he probably now knows he's not going to get his ring back. So he jumps on his little catapult, which we've built in here, and he jumps out to attack Samwise, which is just a nice little play function we've added in. So building this set was definitely a lot of fun and had a lot of challenges for me. As I said, building a giant spider and all those organic forms and shapes definitely makes it tricky for us, but I really enjoyed rising to the challenge, and I hope you enjoyed building it and playing with it as much as I did designing it.
Hello, my name is Martin, and I'm a LEGO designer. I was part of the team that developed LEGO The Lord of the Rings, and I'm going to show you Uruk Hai Army. In this model we see a scene from the Lord of the Rings movie The Two Towers, where Saruman has sent his Uruk Hai to attack the people of Rohan. When developing this wall section of the Rohan defenses, we put quite a lot of focus on detailing. Here you can see the moss green and the profile brick. As the Uruk Hai approach, the Rohan soldier gets ready and loads the catapult and fires away. The Uruk Hai are heavily armored, and they've brought their own weaponry. They have a ballista. This part of the model was probably the most challenging to develop in getting the angle right and making the function work. So they get ready and fire back. And who's that up on the hill? It's Eomer, as he rides into the fray and saves the day. Oh, and by the way, this wall section links into the Battle of Helm's Deep model, so you can enlarge your defenses. That was the Uruk Hai Army. I hope you enjoy playing with the set as much as I did developing it. Hello, my name is Martin, and I'm a LEGO designer. I was part of the team that developed LEGO Lord of the Rings. I'm going to show you Attack on Weathertop. In this scenario, the hobbits, Merry, who's unique to this set, and Frodo are camped together with their guide, Aragorn, at an old watchtower ruin called the Weathertop. Now the challenges I faced when developing this set was making sure the campsite fit in here, but also getting all the detailing of the tower right, namely the stairs leading up to the top level, and the rounded shape. As the hobbits are camped, their campfire attracts the attention of the ring wraiths, who are Sauron's evil minions that are trying to get the ring back from Frodo. As the ring wraiths close in, Frodo makes a dash for it up the stairs. Can you use the watchtower's old defense system to take him out? Ooh, that was a direct hit. But what's this? The ring wraith keeps coming on. What's Frodo going to do now? The ring wraith is still coming for Frodo. The arrows didn't stop him. What's Frodo going to do now? Oh, and the trapdoor saves Frodo. But enough play for now. Let me show you what's inside of the tower. The guards that lived here centuries ago have left, but they left their weapons rack, which comes with a spear and a short sword. And since there's no one living here anymore, someone else has moved in. In the back here you can see how we solved that rounded form that I mentioned earlier. We used the LEGO hinge element several times. Then over here, you can see the defense mechanism that you saw in action earlier. Well, that's Attack on Weathertop, and I hope you have as much fun playing with it as I had developing it.
Hi, my name is Henrik, and I work as a designer on the LEGO The Lord of the Rings project. I would now like to show you my latest creation, the LEGO Mines of Moria set. The scene is taken from the movie The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, where the Fellowship have to travel deep under the misty mountains to avoid a violent snowstorm. Deep under the mountains they find the Mines of Moria and Balin's tomb. I started out building the main gate, and in the center you have the big doors where the Fellowship enter the chamber. You can of course again close the doors and securely lock the gate with an axe. We also added some nice stickers here and on this side to support the high level of detail. Next we have the right side of the chamber. In the center we have added a small dwarf library where there's books and a pickaxe, and there's also some nice stickers with books inside. In the mid section there's also a small function. On the back side you can pull forward and reveal a small treasure chest that includes some small diamonds and crystals. Exclusively for this set you'll also get Legolas, and for him we created and designed a new hairpiece, and he also comes with his bow. Another exclusive character is Boromir, that comes with his weapon and a nice decorated shield. The next character is Gimli, and for him we also designed a new helmet that is nicely decorated with runes and inscriptions. Gimli comes with 2 different weapons, 2 axes. Next to Gimli we have the Book of Mazabul, and that's the one that Gandalf reads from in the movie. In the center of the whole scene we have Balin's tomb. We nicely decorated the top of the lid with the runes and inscriptions. And the tomb also have a very nice function. Over here we have Pippin, and he's also a very exclusive minifig for the set. In the movie he starts fooling around with the skeletons, and then he actually sends the skeletons deep down into the well that wakes up all the orcs. In this set you also get a small accessory pack with nice weapons. Next is the evil team. Exclusively for this set we created 2 Moria orcs, and we designed a new hairpiece, black hair and small green eyes for these. The ultimate evil character is of course the cave troll. He comes with a chain and a big club. I can actually show you one of the very early prototypes of the cave troll. As you see here, in the beginning he actually was in grey color, and here we tried to add some of the decorations, but in the end he was approved by the movie company in sand blue color. In the movie the cave troll bashes his way through the main gate and starts to attack the Fellowship. When he goes through the gate he actually destroys a part of the gate. Over on the right side I also added some extra functions. When the cave troll starts to attack the Fellowship, you can actually fight him and release the columns over here that fell on the cave troll. Okay, that's it. I hope you really enjoyed my little presentation here. It's been a wonderful model to create. I've been a Tolkien fan for a lot of years, so actually being able to design the set is like a dream come true. So I wish you happy building and great fun with all the functions.
Hello, my name is Bjarke, and I am one of the designers who have worked on LEGO Lord of the Rings. And I'm going to tell you the story about Helm's Deep from the epic battle scene in the Two Towers movie. When we started designing Helm's Deep, our starting point was King Theoden, when he sits on a horse, he should be able to ride through the main gate here. And after that, we designed the main building here, which are the front gate of the castle. And we was very focused in the beginning of a high level of detail, and that is why we have put the profile bricks in here and the moss green color to really give this authentic high level of detail look. Then we also have a catapult on the top of the wall here, and here we have a feature where you can open up and then you can shoot stones into the heads of the Uruk Hais. Over here we have a little funny function where Gimli, you can play that he attacks the orc over here. That's a really nice little feature from the movie that a lot of fans like, that he can attack them. And in the set we also have Haldir, who is the leader of the elves that comes to the rescue, and he is exclusive for this set. And after we have done this construction, we thought that the style was looking really good, so we continued with these rounded walls over here, which is always a challenge to do in Lego. That is to build rounded shapes, but we managed to do that. And then over here we have the ladder where the Uruk Hais are attacking, and Aragorn, he's defending. So when they come up here, he can push them back. And then over here we have this strong defensive wall. And you might remember from the movie that the Uruk Hai sent this berserker guy to light the bomb, and then you can play that you really have this powerful explosion. And then we also really wanted to have the tower for Helm's Deep, because it's such a big icon, and we have the tower here with this very significant profile. You might remember from the movie that Gimli and Legolas is joking about that Gimli should be standing on a box if he should be able to see what takes place outside. And to homage the movie, we have placed that box right here, so Gimli can stand on that when he climbs the tower to blow the horn. And then inside the main building of Helm's Deep, we have a throne room where King Theoden sits behind the banner, which is Rohan's logo, and we have Aragorn over here. And then you can also play that Gimli, he's over here, and then they sit really cozy and eat together. And we have details like a rat down here, and we have weapons in the back here. Yes, that was Helm's Deep, and it was a great experience to design this. And I really hope that you will have as much fun playing with this as I had when I designed it.
Hi everyone, my name's Nicholas Groves and I'm a designer builder here at LEGO, and I worked on LEGO The Lord of the Rings. And I was very lucky enough to be the designer and builder for the Orc Forge. So the Orc Forge itself is actually set underground at Isengard, and the first time we see this is in the first Lord of the Rings movie, The Fellowship of the Ring. Isengard is actually the home of Saruman, the evil wizard who has now turned against the Fellowship. And he's put this evil army of orcs in charge of building Uruk Hai and building lots of weapons for the big battle to come. Now the challenge with the Orc Forge is that it was set underground and it's actually very, very big. But what we try to do is pick the best features and functions and get that all into one really fun playset. So one of the main ideas behind this is that you have to build lots of weapons, lots of armor and helmets, all for this Uruk Hai and Orc army that's going to march its way into Middle-earth. So we have one guy down here, one of the orcs with a spade, and he needs to dig out metal out of the earth. And we have it here, some nice shiny pieces of metal. He puts that into the basket, right down there. We can then winch down this little hook, attach that, and then we can bring this up to the next level. Now this might look simple, but this is actually quite a challenge because we only have support for this winch on the back. So we had to use some clever building techniques and use some technique in there just to really strengthen that up and get this function working really well and making sure it didn't bend when you played with it. Now, once you get the metal to this level, this guy here, he needs to sort out all the good metal from all the old rocks, and because you need really good material to make swords. And he can then put it down this chute. So now it goes down into the smelting pot, and basically it's this guy's job to then take it across and put it into the furnace. And now you need a really hot furnace to melt metal. And when we built this, we obviously used some flames, but we felt it really wasn't getting the idea of heat across. So what we thought could be really fun was to put in a light brick. And if you look down there, you can see a really cool light up function. So now hopefully you've melted all your metal and we're ready to go to make some weapons and some swords. So it's now this guy's job to then take it over, and then he can pour it into the molds. And there it casts it into the shape of swords or helmets or shields. In this case, it is an Uruk Hai sword, and this is a very special design, only for them. We don't see it with any other character. We can then take it over, and we can then make it nice and sharp or forge the metal into any particular shape we want, and that's a nice piece of a little roleplay, and we do see that a lot in the film. So now we have our swords, we have our armor, we have our helmets, and we have our shields. We now need some Uruk Hai. And in the film we see that we have the Uruk Hai birthing pits, and this is basically where they breed the Uruk Hai. And down here we have what looks like just a normal piece of rock or earth, but if you actually pull that away and then push out, Klotz appears. Now Klotz is the leader of the Uruk Hai, and if you don't know the difference between an Uruk Hai and an orc, it's this. An orc is actually an elf that's been twisted by black magic, but he can't go out in the daytime. So the orcs decided to breed orcs with goblin men, and now we have an army of bigger, stronger, meaner orcs called Uruk Hai that can actually go out in the daytime, and they get sent out to go and find the hobbits to get the ring back. So these guys are pretty mean and scary, and Klotz is the meanest and scariest of them all. So now we have Klotz and all the weapons, we can get him dressed up and ready for war. So first that needs to go on is our armor. We do have to remove his head for that. And then we take off his hair, because he needs to have this really cool helmet. And this helmet actually has the white hand of Saruman, which is really cool and really exclusive to this set. He then gets his shield, which also has the white hand. And then of course his really big, mean looking sword. So now we have all our weapons and armor and our Uruk Hai army who are ready to go out to battle in Middle-earth. This was a really fun set for me to build. I'm a really big fan of the films. It was definitely a challenge once you see the Orc Forge and all its detail, but it was a lot of fun for me to kind of get all of that into a playable and fun LEGO set. And I hope you enjoy building it and playing with it as much as I did designing it.